regarding the fight between Pereira and Ankalaev. That fight's going to be in March, which is going to be during Ramadan. Do you know how long that team took to actually make a decision for him to fight during Ramadan? And it seems as though most Muslim fighters would not take a Ramadan fight. Why didn't UFC spare Magomed?
The question is, how long did it take?
His team decided to fight during that holiday.
I have no idea. I mean, I don't know. I have no idea how long it took. And what's the other part of the question?
Why didn't you spare a Muslim fighter and made him fight for the belt during Ramadan?
Why didn't I spare him?
As opposed to making him fight not during the holy
Well,
fight.
listen, if you have so many Muslim fighters and none of them will fight, during a block of what happens when they're champions? But we got a schedule. If you want the opportunity, you got to fight.
Long time ago, and for the longest time, people wanted to see Fedor Emelianenko in UFC. And then now, he's retired, obviously, but he has Vadim Nemkov, who is one of his star pupils, who has just fought his last fight in PFL. Would you be interested in signing Vadim Nemkov for the UFC?
I don't know. I mean, sitting right here off the top of my head, we haven't talked about it. We haven't talked about it.
Vadim Nemkov has a 19-2 record. He'd be a good addition to the UFC heavyweight roster. He hasn't lost in like 9 years. Back in the day, he lost to Yuri Prochazka in Ryzen. The Ultimate Fighter 33 premieres Tuesday, May 27th on ESPN2 and ESPN+. This season showcases men's flyweights and welterweights with Daniel Cormier and Chael Sonnen serving as coaches.
Champion and in the ring, MMA king, feel the rush and sing, let the victory sing, champion and in the ring.
John Strickland on his way to Sydney, Australia, trying to get the middleweight strap back, taking on Dricus du Plessis in the main event of UFC 312 next weekend.
So I'm about to take off, dude, for my flight. Chris Cornell, he wanted to go fucking hard. He's similar to the UFC. He wanted to go do some hard off-roading, and my suspension might be a little wonky, so we're going to Arizona to get some work done soon. It was worth it. I'm gonna be late for my flight. It's Chris Cornell. Want to go fucking do some off-roading? Maybe this is the road, dude. You never know, man.
Dricus du Plessis doesn't care that Alex Pereira is in the corner of Sean Strickland. He said he was in the corner in the first fight, and also they don't speak the same language, so it doesn't matter. Michael Chandler's down to fight at Paddy Pimblett. That's number 7 and 12 in the lightweight division. It'd be a chance for Paddy Pimblett to move into the top 10 if he can get the victory. For Chandler, it's almost like a little bit of a break compared to some of the tough guys he's been fighting. Oliveira twice, Dustin Poirier, Justin Gaethje. PFL asking if they do a rematch with Usman and Paul Hughes, where it should be Belfast, Boston, Dubai, or Las Vegas. Paul Hughes wants Belfast. Alex Pereira wants to box Alexander Usyk. He'd be a huge underdog in that fight and likely get KO'd, but make a lot of money in the process. This wasn't a fight, but a promo for a reality show. Paul American starting March 27th on Max.
Controversial family in America just got a reality TV show with HBO Max. March 27th. It's a Thursday. You're free. Set your calendars. All the behind the scenes of our drama, going even deeper than before. Behind the scenes of the Tyson fight. All the things that go on behind the scenes.
Darren Till had a response to the most controversial family in America just landed a new reality series. The most controversial family? That is incorrect. The biggest pair of dickheads who would sell their soul for a pound token. That's the title. Not a moral to their name. Logan is worse out of the two. Jake actually cares about a few things here and there. Logan is a horrid fella.
You know what I always say? Times are out and friends of you. 10 out of you.
Michaela Mayer versus Sandy Ryan, March 29th at the Fountain Blue in Las Vegas, Nevada. Johnny Walker said he left SBG in Ireland because he didn't have enough big guys to train with there, so now he's training with Extreme Couture. I guess they got more bigger guys there in Vegas. Dana White was reading World War II stats like he's talking about the revenue gate for a UFC event.
World War II was the deadliest war in history. 15 million military deaths, 45 million civilians, and 25 million soldiers were killed in World War II.
Not defending Bryce, but for the last year we've been watching bloody and dead kids missing limbs being pulled from rubble from Israeli bombs. We've been force-fed that Americans are to blame for this. The truth is complex and gray. Hostages, generations of hate on both sides. We can sit here for hours arguing about the cause, who is right and wrong. Bryce is a product of being on the internet too much, nothing more, nothing less. Bryce Mitchell's friend and teammate AJ Cunningham, who's on the UFC bantamweight roster, had something to say as well.
Hey, he said something I don't like or agree with. Is he gonna get in trouble? I'm a grown-ass man, but my feelings got hurt because of words. Words hurt my feelings. Is he gonna get in trouble? You pussies. You no spine having crybaby men shit. Bro, what am I growing up around? I'm so glad I'm not like you. I'm so glad I didn't have the same background as y'all. Could you imagine raising... Is he gonna get in trouble because he said mean words? Words are empty air, you dumb fucks. Mean words. Get
I guess a lot of people were making the comment, Emmett's KO did a lot of damage to Bryce Mitchell, so Emmett's like, what did I miss today?
You're gonna be a fucking funny boy too now, huh?
I haven't seen Dana this angry, not even when I posted that he had an affair with Rose Namajunas. Costa once posted this picture and said, if I post this, would I be free from that effing contract? I guess he was trying to get out of his UFC contract, the assumption being he'd get fired if he posted something like this. And Dana apparently messaged him and said, delete that shit, you fucking goof. Bryce Mitchell remains on the UFC roster unless a sponsor starts pulling out. That's the reality. ESPN hasn't even bothered to pick up the story as of now. It's interesting that if someone under the TKO-owned WWE said this, they'd be released within the hour. The tolerance level and expectation of the two fan bases couldn't be more different. There was an instance in the past where a fighter did get cut from making a tweet, Miguel Torres, where he tweeted if an R van was called a surprise van, more women wouldn't mind going in rides in them. And as a result, Dana White did cut him.
You know, the type of person myself that will say what I want to say, you know, when I want to say it. There's limits. There's limits to what you can say and what you can't say. And there's a time when you cross the line, and Miguel Torres definitely crossed the line. If that's your sense of humor, keep it at home around you and your buddies and keep it to yourself. It's not something that you put out on Twitter.
Natan Levy, one of the Jewish and Israeli fighters on the UFC roster, but it's his freedom of speech. Yeah, every idiot is free to speak, and I'm free to tell them to shut the F up. Dana mad about Bryce Mitchell. Last time Dana this angry, his wife got slapped. APAC called Dana. The first day that one bro starts his podcast, Dana doesn't want to upset the new owners. What Bryce said wasn't nearly as bad as power slap. You can't fix dumb people. Damon Jackson retired for a minute after his loss to Jim Miller, but he will be back in the UFC in the meantime. He's doing this grappling match on Friday in Dallas, Texas. Nicholas Maximov, former UFC fighter, headlining A1 Combat Uriah Faber's promotion on February 7th.